forewarned long ago. The chemical warfare and the manuscripts, why would they do that is because they have to. The cartel dons cannot let that slide. It ain't got nothing to do with the money. The money is why it's happening, but it really doesn't have anything to do with it. You got to have the correct line of thought to where you plan ahead and don't act like those idiots that are in jail right now. But when you got their kind of money and influence, you can get ideas. And the manuscripts I've been reading on here, those are the kind of people talking that could give you those type of long-term goals. Y'all feel me? That is notorious, but it is what's happening. Nothing about the fentanyl crisis has anything to do with illicit drug. They've got to stop that mentality. This is not part of the drug war. This is a battle of the drug war, and it has come home to roost. They know they cannot get a South American hit squad up here and kill enough people in enough places, and it just can't be done. They can't do that. They know our police is basically military now. They all understand that, but you go and you ask advice, and there are people that write these manuscripts I've been reading from that give that type of advice. Their plans that I've been reading are exactly like this. Like I said in the other video, you don't cut your drugs with enough of anything that can kill 4 people. That's ridiculous. A complete avoidance of the facts. This is American policy coming home to roost. And that's just the way it is. It was planned out from the beginning. The way they look at it is if they can't make the money, nobody's gonna make the money. It's really that easy, that simple. It's a principle thing. This is directly out of the manuscripts I've been reading, out of that book. It's exactly one of their plans. I mean, look at what the government planned from a couple of years ago. The deaths that were listed as that weren't that. And we find out a whole bunch in the past 6 months, haven't we? Well, they've let a lot out. But it's the same plan. It's just, it don't just affect the old. This affects the young people, right? When parents are getting their hopes up. This is dastardly. Fentanyl in fake Xanax. That's ridiculous from a business point of view. Since Mexico launched a war on the cartels in 2006, the United States has provided it with billions of dollars in security and counter-narcotics assistance. This is from the CFR.org, their website. So, since we launched the war in 2006, we've been given subsidies. Billions of dollars in subsidies. Now, why would we do that? We know if we send billions of dollars in security and counter-narcotics assistance, we know where that money's going. Nobody is that stupid, but nobody questions it. That's just, subsidizing the cartels. But that's not enough to make up the difference and the lack of respect. We broke a business arrangement with these people. This is a business. This ain't you little hoodlum down on the corner hustling a couple of ounces of cocaine. Nah, this is real money. This is business. There is a business model. This is worldwide commerce. Banks in other countries cater to these people, and these people are worldwide. From your opium traders in China, and you've got different factions of. This is a business. To your marijuana growers in the Northwest, it's a business. And until people understand that, they won't understand the vicious nature of the revenge. It has a twofold effect. You just got to get enough of it out there. Now, we have, quote unquote, confiscated quite a bit, but what happens to that after they snap the pictures? We already know that elements are involved. That's a fact. I'm just saying, this is a business, and it is a vicious business, and this is just business retaliation. If you can't lower the prices when you're dealing dope, then you get rid of the competition. I mean, this is drug dealing 101. If you can't get rid of the competition, then you get rid of the customer base. It's simple. Drugs have been used to control population. This has been going on a very long time, and it's being played not by us this time. It's being played against us in a vicious way with the fentanyl. That's the way it is. I'm just laying it out. I have experience. I am an expert in that. I know how they think. I know what happens if you renege on a deal. And we reneged on a deal. And that's it. Now we're paying the piper. CFR.org. The Mexican authorities have been waging a deadly battle against drug cartels for more than a decade, but with limited success. Thousands of Mexicans, including politicians, students, and journalists, die in the conflict every year. The United States has partnered closely with its southern neighbor in this fight, providing Mexico with billions of dollars to modernize its security forces, reform its judicial system, and fund developmental projects aimed at curbing migration at Mexico's southern border. Washington has also sought to stem the flow of illegal drugs into the United States by bolstering security and monitoring operations along its border with Mexico. Boy, that sounds good. That's what we are told on the CFR's website, CFR.org. Mexican drug trafficking organizations, or DTOs, sometimes referred to as a transnational criminal organization. They dominate the import and distribution of cocaine, fentanyl, heroin, marijuana, and methamphetamine in the United States. Mexican suppliers are responsible for most heroin and methamphetamine production, while cocaine is largely produced in Colombia, then transported to the United States by Mexican criminal organizations. Mexico, along with China, is also a leading source of fentanyl, a synthetic opioid up to 50 times more potent than heroin. The amount of fentanyl seized by Mexican authorities nearly quintupled between 2019 and 2020. At the same time, the cartels smuggle vast quantities of marijuana into the United States, even though some U.S. jurisdictions have legalized it. Conversely, California's booming cannabis industry has prompted traffickers to smuggle U.S.-grown marijuana across the border to Mexico, where lawmakers have yet to fully legalize the drug. See, that goes back to what I was saying. It was coming from outside, from the Northwest, and now, it's inside in Cali. Mexican cartels pose the most significant drug trafficking threats to the United States, according to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. Alrighty, there you go. China, our involvement. But no matter what, you can guarantee you will never, ever discover who was in charge of this and who thought about this. They may catch some semi-high-level group that was dispersing it, and they may be able to track it to China, but they will never get the man who is orchestrating all of this. And I'm just saying, I'm just saying.